Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Thank you so much for being here. You could have been just about any place else in this world, and you decided to come and visit with me. I really, really do appreciate it. Hello, Novi D, Sabrina Gomez. I'm sorry, Sabina. Let me get that right. Sabina Gomez. Connie Balmer! And of course, Empress Energy for Life. Let's see here. Peace and Joy. Chantel Dixon. Heather Stroud, thank you for being here. Church Nelly. Mary H. Let me see. What is that? Let me see. Del McDonald. Oh, Delia McDonald Bent? Okay. Stevie Ross, Shirley Holland. LDSW, Kalavita Najagu, Angela M64. And let me see. Oh, and by the way, Connie Bowman, thank you so much for being here first. Oh my goodness. You know what? It had got so dark earlier. I didn't want to go on any sooner because I thought the rain might knock the power out. But wouldn't you know it, the sun is shining again. The sun is shining. There's plenty of light. A new day's dawning, sunny and bright. Since I lost my baby. Oh, since I lost my baby. Someday I will find her. Okay. I know I skipped over a few words, didn't I? All right. These slides are coming up. And of course, as per usual, I don't think we'll be here more than an hour. As a matter of fact, I don't have nearly as many slides as I normally have. So let's make it do what it do. Okay. All right. Let me see. What else do we have here? There we go. Slides are coming up. Yeah, Netflix deal equals media meltdown. Oh no, my voice has done one of those things like Ella Fitzgerald. Do 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 do. I remember the Ella Fitzgerald commercial where she broke the wine glass with her voice. All right. Let's get on with it then. Okay. Now, little tea. And if you ain't ready for tea, try some coffee. If you ain't ready for coffee, just pretend like you're at what is that? What is that? What do you call it, Church Nelly? Moonshine, mini moonshine. I forget the name of it. Yeah, but have some vodka. Yeah, that'll straighten you out. You know what they say, you can't fly with one wing. Anyway, there is a taste test. And of course, once again, Meghan's rosé was triumphant. Another one of those blind taste tests. We didn't expect as ever to have such an elevated flavor. And that's from Nico. Is it Shinko? 4. Oh, that should be 4. Business Insider. Yeah, not fear, not fur, but 4. Hey, Edie. Okay, menopausal moonshine minis. That's it. How could I have forgotten that? Especially when I have one of those images of it, right? So, there it is right there. Okay. You guys, in case you didn't know it, Church Nelly has gone into the, uh, I guess, saloon business with her saloon menopausal moonshine minis. So if you're ever in the neighborhood, that either means your car broke down or someone has abducted you and just dropped you off there. No decent person would just no decent person would find themselves at an establishment like that on purpose. You know what I mean? Unless they have really hit rock bottom. So anyway, but that's what makes it so colorful. Okay. Hey Kanitha Ash. Yep. Elaine Parker. Yes, thank you so much for 46 months membership. So good to catch a live chat. All right. Thank you so much for 46 months membership. Monica Water, thank you so much for being here. Kathy G, Sylvia Dixon, thank you all so much for being here. Mama Janet, okay. So, as I said, that is Church Nelly's place of business right there. So, if you need to get in touch with her, you could always try menopausal moonshine minis. Yes. Oh, thank you, Elaine Parker, for the super sticker. All right. Now, how do I get away from that? Oh, yeah, there it is. I just do that. All right. So, as I said, they did not expect it to be so good. And this taste test was from actually, we tried Meghan Markle's new As Ever Rosé in a blind taste test. It wasn't what we expected, but we'd buy it again. You hear that? It wasn't what we expected, but we'd buy it again. Meghan Markle's As Ever brand released the first wine, its first wine, that is, a rosé from Napa Valley. Yeah, we know about that. A group of Business Insider reporters tasted it in a blind taste test, comparing it to three other rosés. As Ever's flavor was unexpected, but we definitely buy the rosé again. So, rosé all day is more than a phrase, it's a mantra, a lifestyle, and some might even say a call to action. I like this. Meghan Markle answered that call when her lifestyle brand, As Ever, released a rosé on July the 1st. The wine space is getting more crowded by the day, particularly as more celebrities join the fray. And I, for one, couldn't wait to see how Meghan made her rosé stand out. So, Meghan Markle is in her winemaking era, they say. Hello, is that Clary R? Helen Marmon. Wow, Helen Marmon, it's been a while. So let me do that. There we go. The Duchess of Sussex launched her As Ever brand in the spring, selling items like fruit spread, high-end honey, and flower petal sprinkles. As Ever's first two product drops sold out within an hour, and in June, the company announced it was debuting its first ever wine, a 2023 Napa Valley Rosé curated by Meghan. You hear that? Curated by Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. As Ever said, its rosé is supposed to taste crisp and has notes of stone fruit, gentle minerality, and a lasting finish, much like provincial rosés from France. France. The rosé retails for $30 a bottle on As Ever website, and it sold out almost immediately after going on sale on July the 1st. The bottles are only available in packs of 3, 6, or 12. So it costs consumers at least $90. and taste Meghan's rosé. As ever, has not yet announced if or when it'll restock its rosé. Okay, so we're going to get to the taste test in just a second here. Mama Janet, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you, Connie Boma, for the super sticker. Thank you very much. Okay, because Royals and Rosé are two of my greatest passions. So this writer says Royals and Rosé are two of their greatest passions. I knew I had to try as ever wine. Okay. I've been writing about the royal family and Meghan for years. I've also been closely following as ever over the past few months. And as Meghan further expands, that is, into the lifestyle space. Plus, I'm a big rosé fan when I'm off the clock. Wink, wink. So I know I had to try Meghan's wine when it was released. I decided the best way to experience as ever rosé would be a blind taste test, comparing it to a few other popular rosés on the market. I got a few of my colleagues to participate in the taste test with me. Or as they say, I don't like to drink alone. Or what's that other thing they say? It's after 6 somewhere. Oh man, I didn't think it would be fair to assess the wine, actually the wines plural by myself, especially because I'm pretty easy to please when it comes to rosé. Give me a glass of pink, cold wine, and I'll be a happy camper. 3 of my colleagues graciously volunteered to spend a Tuesday afternoon drinking with me. They are such givers. I know they are such givers. Um, Here's a quick rundown of why you can trust us. Spoiler alert, the main qualification is that we like drinking wine. I repeat, their main qualification is they love to drink wine. So Callie Algram, senior pop culture writer, says, I did work at a wine bar for like a year, but that was a long, long time ago. And since then, I drink wine recreationally and copiously. Then there is Samantha Rollins, deputy editor of the entertainment and real estate. I'm a wine enthusiast who has been to France and rose capital of the world. Oh, yeah, France, the rose capital of the world, in my opinion. So that's my only qualification. And Joy Marie McKenzie, editor in chief, Life, says, I'm a new wine lover. I did not drink wine much in my 20s. I love Riesling and rosés. And I just got into red. So I think I would be quite picky because I'm sort of new to the whole thing. And then lastly, there's Samantha Pettyjohn, senior lifestyle reporter, and the person who wrote this article. So Samantha Pettyjohn is the one who wrote this article. I love rosé, especially in the summer. I'm also well versed in Meghan Markle and went to California wine country on my honeymoon. Okay, so these are some serious wine drinkers. Okay, they are serious. Okay, so we tried 4 rosés, right? For the taste test, I selected 3 wines in addition to, as ever, choosing rosés that were pretty similar in price points to Meghan's. It seems only fitting to include another celebrity brand, so I chose Côtes de Provence Rosé from Chateau Maraval, which of course is Brad Pitt's wine company. Pitt's provincial style rosé costs $23.88. Next, I selected a 2249 summer water rosé, which is made in California coast, offers a slightly different experience with a screw-on cap. Oh my goodness. Now that is provincial. Finally, I included Whispering Angel, one of the most popular rosés on the market. Is a personal favorite of mine and is made in the provincial style like as ever. It was 22.96. So see there, Megan's wine is not that much more expensive. Even if you have to buy 3 bottles, you were going to get 3 anyway if you could. As ever ended up being the most expensive wine of the bunch, which wasn't surprising considering it isn't widely available like the others. Okay, so let me tell you, as ever is produced in a smaller portion, well, smaller batch. They are going to come out with another wine, but that 2023 rosé, we may not see it again. Megan did say it was for the summer, but I hope so. If not this year, next year. Okay, for the test, I put a piece of tape on the bottom of each wine glass with A, B, C, or D written on it, which corresponds with one of the wines. The code was a summer water, or B, as ever, C, Whispering Angel, and D, Chateau Maraval, right? The wine was poured out the wine was poured out of sight and given to us in random order, so we didn't know which rosés we were tasting. So the Brad Pitt wasn't a hit with our group. One more time, the Brad Pitt wasn't a hit with the group. First, we tried the Maraval Rosé, aka Brad Pitt wine. Mackenzie said it's good to me, and Algram says it has a kind of a sharp aftertaste, right? And let's see, Rollins says honestly, kind of bitter. I usually like bitter things, but it's a little too bitter. And Petty John, who wrote this article, says, I like it. It's sharp, and I wish I had some cheese to eat with it. It has a champagne flavor. Mackenzie said, and that to me resonates. Rollins says there's something about it I don't really like. Petty John says the bottle were offered to me. I would certainly have a glass, if not 2. Mackenzie says it'll be perfect for hot weather. Agram says I think it's more of a dinner wine than a relaxing at the pool kind of wine. Okay, next, the rose water. They tried letter A, the rose water. It has a berry forward. Berry forward. I guess that means it tastes more berry-like. Effervescent, says one of them. It's definitely more pool vibe. This is a better wine and lighter. So far, nobody likes Brad's Pitt, but summer water is a hit. Okay. And then let's get to As Ever. This is a very important, you guys. And this is honestly what they say. As Ever was the third wine we tried under the alias Wine B and had most unexpected flavor profile of the bunch. Algram says, oh, I like the smell. This smells more expensive. Petty John says, this tastes expensive, but it doesn't taste like rosé to me. It's good, but it is not what I would expect. Rollins says, this is like a very dry white, maybe. Okay. And Mackenzie says, it has a very bold flavor. Agram says, I actually like that. I don't think it tastes like rosé. It is much bolder than I expected. I feel like it's aged. Okay, 2023. And Rollins says there's something okay about it. Petty John, who wrote the article, says it's fancy. Agram says it's earthy almost. And Mackenzie says it tastes like a Chardonnay and is giving oak Chardonnay. So I do believe that means that they really liked it. And then for the last wine, which was Whispering Angel, um, this is like, okay, I like this one. This is what I would consider easy rosé drinking. Um, Agram says, "Oh, this is bland." Mackenzie says, "The very harsh tongue, very harsh on my tongue. I'm so sorry. I don't prefer it this at all." Rollins says, "Really, this one seems like an easier drinking version of B and D," which of course means um, they chose Meghan's first, an easier version of Meghan's, and then D, whichever one that was. Mackenzie said, "This one, I don't like it at all. It just tastes more. I'm sorry. I just taste more of the alcohol taste, which I don't love." Agram says, "Yes, I think it is. There's very little flavor and it's more alcohol forward. This is my least favorite of the four." Rollins says, "I feel like this one splits the difference between all of them. It's got a bit of berry of the other ones, but it's still dry and it's got the rosé." So Rollins says it's like a combination of all the wines. Agram says, "If somebody gave me a glass of this by my pool, I would drink it, but I would not opt for this one if I had other options." So we revised all four wines before reveal. While we still didn't know which wine was which, we compared them to each other, referring to them by their letter code. Overall, our outtake was the summer water was the best for casual rosé drinking, thanks to its light and berry flavor. And the As Ever wine stood out for being unexpected and refreshing. So they liked two of them, and they said that the As Ever was the one that surprised them the most. Let's see, set in the middle of the pack. Let me see. Oh yeah, Marivel was in the middle. Angels was too alcohol forward. Mackenzie said. So after the big reveal, we love that As Ever wasn't what we expected from Meghan. We finally found out which wine was which. We were all surprised. B was As Ever. Um, Let me see. That was one that didn't. That's okay. One of them said, "Okay, that one didn't taste like rosé to me." Let me see. It was my number two, said Mackenzie. And Algram says, "As Ever was my top in terms of what I like in wine. I like the weirder flavor, but I think summer water is more rosé. Rosé E. But if I saw As Ever in the store, I would buy it again. I would buy it again." Petty John says, "Me too. I would buy this one, and I think it would be nice if you pair it with fruit or cheese, that vibe. If you bought this to a party, your friends would like it. Oh, the rosé you brought is so good. Where did you get it?" So there you go. Two of them were definitely into the As Ever. And one of them simply thought better paired with food than saw it as a summery drink. Let me see. Cups, you can see. What does it taste like to you? Okay, so Algram says, "I admire that Meghan didn't take the easy route. So many celebrities have an alcohol brand, so I think it was bold of her to do something that does not taste like every other rosé on the market." And Petty John said, "If I put my Meghan scholar hat on, I also feel that this reflects her as a flavor. You think you're going to get one thing, but then she surprises you. And it's a really lovely flavor, even if it's not necessarily what you were expecting. And Mackenzie says, is something that I would buy again. Petty John says, me too. And Mackenzie says, her rosé beats Brad Pitt's. And Algram says 100%. So that is three positives out of the four. Three certainly that are positive about the as ever. Let me see. Oh, they said it's the best bang for your buck if you're looking for the highest alcohol content. And Mackenzie says, yep, 14.5 is pretty high. Agram said that surprises me because of how alcohol forward I felt like Whispering Angel was. I expected that to be the highest, but nope, it was Megan's. Let me see. And Petty John says, I like to make a rosé sangria. I think as ever would be good with that. So if you like sangria, and that's what I was thinking, if you could mix this into a sangria, oh my goodness, that would be like rocket fuel. Let me see a bit seltzer in it. Oh, so Album says a bit of prosecco. What's that? Prosecco or seltzer in it? Yeah, because the flavor is strong, it would lend itself to the mix. Yes, agreed, Petty John. It's not a poolside rosé. It's like a charcuterie rosé, which is what I said. I need to get my charcuterie board. And Petty John says, I can see Meghan on her patio talking to one of her friends and drinking it. So 3 out of 4 of us could see ourselves buying. As a matter of fact, let me screenshot that just to make sure you know that I'm telling you the truth there. I'm going to screenshot it and I'm going to put it up there right now. Hold on. This is from the Business Insider. So let me screenshot that. Let me put it up there so there won't be any doubt about what I am saying. There we go. 3 out of 4 of us could see ourselves buying as ever. The group liked the as ever rosé. So there you go. This again was a blind taste test. It was very honest. I told you everything they said, good or bad. So trust me when I say that the as ever was a hit with these 4 people that do like rosé and are, they regularly drink wine. A few days after its official taste test, I revisited as ever rosé, pouring a glass for myself and my husband. I gave it a sniff, inhaling that full-bodied, almost orange wine-like scent that surprised me during the test. It was inviting and bright. And as I took a sip, I was delighted that as ever tasted even more refreshing and crisp than I remembered. My husband was a fan too, and I had to remind myself not to drink it too quickly over dinner. So, let me give a big round of applause to our Duchess of Sussex. Again, that was a very honest. Okay. Yeah, I know it was a bit confusing going back and forth with the reactions of the 4 people, but again, I am very proud for our Duchess that, as ever, did so well. I am very, very glad about that because it is definitely living up to all of the attention that it's getting. So, again, those are the 4 wines right there. You can see as ever, you can see that Marival, you can see the summer water and whatever that is back there. Yeah, I forgot. I said it already though. But yeah, so as ever is a hit. And these are the people right there doing their taste tests. As ever was a surprise hit. Nico Cinco for the Business Insider. Oh, yeah. A good time to be had by all. So 3 out of 4 of them said they would gladly buy it if it was available to them. They would gladly buy it again. By the way, there's an image on the left side. That is Meghan holding the bottle herself. That was posted on the As Ever Instagram. Yeah, that was on the As Ever Instagram. So I have a treat for you. The notorious MJT. Okay, I do tend to move those letters around. I do apologize for that. But it does not mean a lack of respect, I could assure you. Okay, let me play this for you because I tried to do my best to alleviate some of the restlessness that some of you all were feeling about the, I guess, victory lap that so many of the Royal Rota are taking with this idea that the Sussexes are defeated and that everything is falling apart and Netflix is just waiting for the last credits to roll. All of those things. And of course, me, I'm kind of petty. The first thing I said was, did the check clear? Did the check clear? Okay, so I'm going to push that pettiness to the side and I'm going to play this soundbite for you and we will discuss it on the other side. Okay. All right, it is coming up, you all. It is coming up.
All right, squad. Ignore the blemish. I got into a fight with my ring light. But let's take a breath and walk through this together. So, People magazine just ran a headline claiming Harry and Meghan's Netflix deal won't be renewed. And all the haters are having a feeding frenzy. The trolls are doing cartwheels like they won the prize. But before anyone spirals, let's get the facts straight. The entire article, it's based on a report from The Sun. Yes, The Sun. The same racist trash tabloid that's been sued multiple times, apologized to Harry in court, and has the credibility source of 0. That's their source. People magazine didn't confirm anything. They just reprinted the noise. There's been no official statement from Netflix, no press release from Archewell, nothing from Harry and Meghan's camp, which means this is speculation, period. Now let's kill the they were canceled narrative. Their deal started in 2020. It is now 2025. That's 5 years. That's the definition of a multi-year contract. If it wraps this fall, that's not canceled. That's called completed. And everyone's acting like they got fired. Meanwhile, they gave Netflix one of the most watched documentaries, released award-winning projects, and launched With Love Meghan, which has a second season done. So again, where's the scandal? Look, I get it. Every time Meghan breathes, here come the trolls trying to declare she's finished. They want us rattled. They want us doubting. But this is not that moment. So, Sussex squad, stay calm, stay grounded, stay focused. We've seen this playbook before, and it always ends with Meghan proving them wrong. Also, I wouldn't be surprised if this is a distraction from William and Kate's super yacht Greek vacation, set up by the Sun and the firm. The timing is sus. And to the trolls, who, by the way, I've already started blocking. You're not reading articles. You're reading headlines and projecting your jealousy. Meghan was never your peer. So stop pretending you have a seat at her table. Until Netflix or Archewell say otherwise, this is just tabloid clickbait. Don't feed the outrage machine. Stay solid, stay unbothered, and always stay royal. All right, squad. Ignore the blemish. I got into a fight.
Okay. So that really echoes what I was saying yesterday. Do not fall for this attempt to rattle your cage. They want us to be unsure and insecure and stumbling over ourselves. Um, it's not that time. It is not that time. This is not it. Whatever great defeat or I guess failure that they are trying to imply, um, this is not it. This is not it. The Sussexes are still thriving. Okay, so they have reached the end of a contract. I can almost guarantee you, without a shadow of a doubt, that they are in some type of negotiation. By them ending one contract, that means that they are available for another. And let's not forget, they have partnered with Meghan and the As Ever. Netflix is their partner. So obviously there is some plan afoot. They have plans. And those plans weren't made where they're going to say, "Oh my goodness, we forgot that this was the end of the contract." Trust me, they know where they are on the calendar. They know exactly where they are on the calendar. So this is not going to be a big surprise when it comes up. Um, it's going to be a business as a usual. Okay, it's going to be business as usual. Whichever side of this the Sussexes are on, whether they are still under a contract with them or not, but there is some kind of contract because after all, Meghan is a partner with the with the Netflix. So that has to account for something. But they say if you're explaining, you're losing. And I don't like to lose, so at some point I'm gonna feel like I should probably stop trying to explain this because you know what they say, if you're at the dinner and you're not invited, I'm sorry, if there's a dinner and you're not invited, then you're probably on the menu. And no, we've come too far for that. So trust the process. They got this. And as he said, that Meghan, or should I say the Sussexes, they always surprise their enemies. I mean, nobody could have saw $100 million contract when they left Salt Island, but yet that's exactly what it is, or was, or has been. So, yeah, too soon to panic. Okay, let me find this one here. I found what I was looking for. Uh, Let me see here. See if I can share that with you. It will help to convey my mood. There we go. Um, yes, there you go. Those tabloids, they're on a sinking ship. They're going to go straight to the bottom. I really do believe that. They are on a sinking ship, not shrimp. Um, okay. Now let me see here. Kavan Slim says, having, I'm truly having Meghan withdrawals. So those derangers must be dying inside without her. I know what you mean. Thank you for the super chat. I know what you mean. I was hoping that at some point we would see Meghan this week, but we may have to wait until Meghan's birthday. Um, I don't know. I couldn't even imagine what's going on. But she did post something on the Instagram today. So, it's not like she's not posting. It's just that we haven't seen her. But yes, I am going into withdrawal, and I would love to see something this week. And I thought for sure that it would be something, but it's Friday pretty soon for us, and some of you guys it's already Friday, and yeah, we wait. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. I hope it's something very exciting. Um, and let me just say too that I wouldn't mind if it causes a headache for those derangers. It's what they deserve. Joan Garcia says, plus the idiots keep ending Harry and Meghan's marriage too. Thank you very much for the super chat. As Harry said, he almost feels sorry for those derangers because they keep saying that they're not together, that everything is failing, and then it turns out that it's not true. And Harry said he actually worries for them because they get so built up. Now, I told you guys yesterday that I had stumbled into an account for one of the derangers. And let me go to yesterday's slide and see if I can find that one. It was rather disturbing, if I recall. What did I find yesterday? Oh, that's it. What number is that one? That is number 18. Okay. Let me go to yesterday's slide, number 18, and you'll see what I mean. Okay. Thank you again, Joan Garcia. Thank you for being a member. All right, I got it. So I know the print is kind of small there, but it says Prince William is trending. The media attempts to sabotage our future king with numerous hit pieces have backfired. People are vehemently defending Prince William against the onslaught of attacks. Prince William has the overwhelming support of the British public. So this delusional person is looking at as William as though he's the victim, as though he's the one who has been senselessly and cruelly attacked by the tabloid media, which of course that never happens anymore, or that he's the one who has a whispering campaign launched against him, as of course the courtiers and some of the senior members of the royal family, they have launched a whispering campaign against the Sussexes, mostly Meghan. They tend to blame Meghan for everything. That's not happening to him. And of course, they bent over backwards last year to defend Kate. What was the big headline? Back off Kate, leave Kate alone. And it actually took Jeannie Bond, of all people, who seems to struggle with the truth. It took Jeannie Bond to say, hey, if you want people to leave Kate alone, then we have to consider what we say about Meghan. Now, that was as honest as you could possibly be. But there was no debate about that. It fell on deaf ears. It fell on deaf ears because they don't intend to back off the Sussexes. Because as far as the bottom line, the earning potential for these tabloids, given the green light from the palace to go after Harry and Meghan any way they choose, has been nothing but an ongoing payday. They have turned the whole thing into a soap opera, and it has become an ongoing payday. They've never had it so good. So, of course, they have oversaturated the market, and there's just too much of a bad thing. But they're hedging their bets on that because it still pays off better than some good old fashioned journalism. At least that's what they assume. I think they should give good old fashioned journalism a try. But yeah, so that is from one of the twisted minds of those derangers. They see William as the victim. And I want you to notice those photos, okay? Honestly, those are some of the best photos that William has ever taken. You can see the one in the bottom right where it says King behind him. That was deliberate. And he has his head tilted back so you don't notice how much skin in comparison to, hairline um, or hair follicles, intact hair follicles. And then the one where he's walking out of the Buckingham Palace like Fred Astaire for some reason with his top hat. I still don't know what that was about. And of course, the other two on the left side of that square, that's one of those multi-angle images of William in uniform with his head covered. And at the bottom, William pretending to be Harry flying an Apache helicopter. Yeah, he's pretending to be Harry with that that eyepiece in front of his face and all that kind of stuff. That was probably something that he took because he's so tired of hearing how Harry was one of the best Apache helicopter pilots ever. And that's not just me saying that. That is, I'll tell you who said that. Apache helicopter. I will tell you who said that he was one of the best. Give me just a second. Harry, I mean, of course, not that misfit on the screen there. And mind you, this person has been so anti-Sussex the past couple of years. Well, I don't. Do I see that one or not? Let me see here. Okay, I don't see the actual article. But let me just share this with you. This will suffice. See there, Prince Harry named top of his class in Apache helicopter training. Top of his class. That wasn't just given to him because he's Prince Harry. That was something that he earned from hard work. He was actually featured at an air show. And that was when he went to an air show in the United States. And that royal reporter who said, in her column that he was one of the best ever was none other. Wait for it. None other than let's see. I'm seeing in my mind's eye, I see some big arms. Yep, I'm seeing some big hands and some big arms and a big head. That's what I'm seeing in my mind's eye. So who was it that said that he was such a great pilot? There you go. Becky the Blob. Well, now it's just big head Becky. Everything else has shrunk, but now it's just big head Becky. That was one of the royal reporters who could not wait to report about what a great Apache helicopter Harry is. And trust me when I say this, one of the best ever. One of the best ever. So you know how when they say, oh, of course everything's going well for him. Look at this is a talent that Harry was born with. That type of reflex and skill, that's that's something that you're born with. It's just like being a good dancer or a good singer. You probably had it in you all the time. So Harry's ability to coordinate and make split-second decisions made him one of the most effective Apache helicopter pilots ever. So I'm just very proud to say that. That's all. Let me see here. Take a look at a couple of your comments there. Peach Rosé. I like that. I like that. Is it Peach Rose or Peach Rosé? Yes, thank you. They were born talented. They were born talented. And that talent is what's carrying the day. And also, I'm a when Oprah Winfrey was asked about working with Prince Harry for the oh gosh, what was it? The Me You Can't See. Oprah said there's not one time during their Zoom calls with not just Oprah and Harry, but a group of people. She said there was not one time that Harry did not bring it, that he did not come to that meeting with ideas, that he didn't express himself, not one time that he did not express himself. And when Oprah asked Harry to work with her, when Harry found out that series that they were working on, when he found out that it was supposed to be something that was central to the United States, he said, "Oh no, we got to take this global." He said, "This is too big just to be, in the United States. We have to make this global," which is the same thing that happened with Invictus. Harry wasn't just trying to do something identical or similar to the Warrior games, but instead he wanted a global competition where in some cases enemies might have to compete against each other as a wounded or sick veteran. That is extraordinary. That no matter what your ideology, that as athletes, you come together for competition. That was Harry's doing. Oh my God, the way that the palace tries to downplay Harry's intelligence. They continue to try to downplay that. They like to call him dumb and stupid and all that kind of stuff. As long as he doesn't believe that, that's what matters the most. As long as the people who know and love him know better, that also matters. So long as he doesn't accept that. They tried so long to try to convince him that he wasn't wrapped too tight. Well, maybe he's not someone who could ever be like a perfect college student, but he's still very wise and he's learned so much over the years. So very proud of him. Okay, so Harry and Meghan's Netflix deal ends as planned despite media spin. You guys, at first, I was not going to talk about this, but then it just got bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's kind of like an unwritten rule for me. I don't want to talk about things that are going to cause distress to myself and certainly not to you all. So I waited. But yesterday, I did discuss it. And actually, as much as I have respect for this guy, the fact that what we said was so similar at certain points reassures me that I was on the right track. And I'm glad for that. So, but essentially, I think we're both saying do not give in to this panic they're trying to create or do not let them. What is the word I'm looking for? To um, that they wouldn't create doubt, that they wouldn't discourage you. So yeah, do not let them cause discouragement. All right, that is very important. Okay, so we're going to go with Feminagra this time. So Feminagra says, every year tabloids recycle the same tired predictions. The collapse of the Meghan's, Sussex, and Prince Harry's Netflix deal. This time, the noise started with the Sun. The Sun, you know which Sun I'm talking about, this one. It started with the Sun and spread to People magazine, which echoed the speculation without confirmation from either Netflix or Archwell Productions. If they're not exploiting Harry's late relatives to attack him and Meghan, if they're not doing that, the press leans on financial or unconfirmed narratives like the so-called Netflix fallout to fill the vacuum whenever the couple steps out of the spotlight is predictable but strategic. A closer look shows this is not a downfall but a deliberate shift. It's not a downfall, but a deliberate shift. The real story reflects evolving media trends, not a rejection of Meghan and Harry. That's the real story. The Netflix deal was always meant to run 5 years with ongoing content delivery. In September of 2020, it was officially announced that Prince Harry and Meghan Sussex had signed a multi-year deal with Netflix, widely presumed to last 5 years. Even Chris Ship, with a P, not a T, a royal correspondent, very critical of the couple, acknowledged at the time that the deal would extend into 2025. Netflix CEO Ted Sarandos welcomed the partnership in 2020, calling the Sussexes' choice of Netflix their creative home and praising their focus on stories that build resilience and increase understanding. So that was from Ted Sarandos. In 2021, tabloids were repeatedly pushing the narrative that Harry and Meghan were beginning to have doubts and Netflix was unhappy with their output. The Sun was the Sun was pressuring Prince Harry to abandon. Oh yeah, I love that one. As if the Sun was pressuring Harry to abandon the $100 million contract over the Crown's portrayal of Princess Diana, trying to stir up controversy where none existed. Do you guys remember that? Do you remember when they were demanding that Harry abandon the $100 million pay because of the Crown? You know what? I'm just saying, if I was paid $100 million for anything, and all of a sudden you do something that I thought was despicable or disrespectful, at the very least, I'm going to give you a very stern look. But I don't know that I'm going to give up that. I ain't brave enough to give up that money. I ain't got those many principles. Sorry. My principles don't work like that. I'll let Harry and Meghan speak for themselves, but I like to think that I have principles, but I ain't coming off that $100 million for nothing. I'm gonna hang on to that. Sorry. Nope. Sorry. You know what I'm saying? I will shoot you a dirty look, but I'm not coming up off that money. And the check cleared? Hell no. I'm keeping that money. We just have to agree to disagree. Yeah, we just have to agree to disagree. Everybody has their own way of telling the story of freedom of speech and the check cleared. That's all I can say. Freedom of speech and the check cleared. I would have to give the side eye. I'd have to do a Joy Reid side eye. And you know what else I would do? I'd go shopping. Yeah, I'd go shopping. You know what I could do with $100 million? Have you any idea? So, yes, I have principles, but I'll just go get some therapy or something. I'll keep that money. Nope. As long as the check cleared, nothing could be so terrible. Nothing could be so terrible once that check clears. Sorry. I'm just keeping it 100. I'm telling the truth. I would love to believe, and I would love for you to believe, that I stand on principle and so on and so on, but $100 million? And I don't even think it was about Diana. I thought it was more about the portrayal of Charles and maybe a couple other people. I don't remember them saying that about Diana. I thought it had something to do with Charles, but maybe I'm thinking of a different reporter. But no, ma'am, Pam. I think I'm gonna use that money to. You know what I would do with that money? I would have to find this lady to do for me what I could not do for myself. And let me see, where is she at? Just in case I don't have the ability to do what needs to be done, I'll find someone who could do exactly what needs to be done. Where is she at? Where are you, ma'am? Yeah, I need you. Where are you? Okay. Having a little technical difficulty, are we? Let me try it one more time. Aha, there she is. There she is. So, yeah, if for some reason I didn't like the portrayal of my mom and you just gave me $100 million, I'm sorry, y'all. Listen, I really do have principles, but I couldn't just walk away from that. Yeah, I'd have trouble with that. I'd give them that look, but I ain't coming off that money. Oh man, yeah, that's about as I guess angry as I can get. I just have to give a look, and then I'm gonna start thinking about some antiques. So, okay, you never really know a person. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go get some lottery tickets just to prove my point. uh Okay. Okay. Now, which all serious, listen. If I didn't like the way they were doing business, course I would. Of course I would. God, I can't even say it. Of course I would. Nah, I can't say it. I was going to say, of course I could get the money back. I can't see. I can't even say it. Okay, let's move on. So what do we leave off here? Meghan and Harry debuted their first Netflix project in December 2022 with Harry and Meghan, which drew 81.6 million viewing hours in its first week. Still one of the best, of all. Marking the most successful documentary launch in Netflix history at the time. An estimated 28 million households streamed the series. They followed with Live to Lead later that year, Heart of Invictus in 2023, and With Love Meghan 2025, maintaining a steady stream of original content across genres. With Love, Meghan earned over 5 million views globally, delivering a strong performance for a niche genre show and holding its own alongside popular lifestyle titles like The Great British Bake Off, Bacon Show, Chef's Table, and Queer Eye. So Meghan went up against all of those and done rather well for herself. So, you know what I'm saying? And then, of course, media outlets keep repeating the same story. Beyond the 5 Netflix projects delivered by the Sussexes, negative media coverage worked overtime to discredit their efforts. In 2023, website claimed Netflix had pulled out of its deal with Harry and Meghan. In 2024, headlines warned couple would face a financial blow. Business insiders called them a bad investment. Many outlets ignored the 5-year timeline of the deal and instead pushed sensational headlines about an imminent cancellation, stories crafted to drive clicks, even if they fueled negative narratives about the Sussexes. When The Sun claimed Harry and Meghan's Netflix deal was dead after as ever flop, they said, much of the media ran with it, despite having spent years laying the groundwork by misreporting, and the deal was always planned for 5 years. In reality, the deal is simply reaching its planned conclusion. Okay? It is reaching a conclusion. And that's it. That's all. Now, will there be something else to replace it? That remains to be seen. Hey, Sussex Riviera, delightful Charlene, Terry H., Gwendolyn Daniels, Michelle Hewitt Edmonds, Carolyn Minter, hello and hello. Zakoy Farms, thanks for being here. Now, here's a couple of the other things that they put up there. Meghan Markle's exclusive 100 million Netflix deal is done, but more TV projects are coming soon from her and Prince Harry. Now, that's from page 6. That's interesting. They're saying the deal is done, but expect more from her and Prince Harry. Also, you guys, Spare is going to become a book. Who do you think is best placed to create a docuseries as a screen adaptation from The Spare? That would be Netflix. They've had a lot of good practice at it. When The Sun claimed that Harry and Meghan's Netflix deal was dead after As Ever flopped, Much of the media ran with it despite having spent years. Oh, I'm sorry, I read that already. Let me go to the next part here. Also, the Sun's framing ignores key facts. As ever, products sold out at launch and during every restock. And Meghan confirmed in February that Netflix is a partner in As Ever. See there? That's what I just said. They are partners with Meghan. But accuracy was never the point. As a Rupert Murdoch outlet that Prince Harry successfully sued, The Sun appears more interested in distorting reality than reporting it, especially when the goal is to point, I'm sorry, not to point, but to paint Harry and Meghan as failures. That is their point, is to declare them as failures. Oh, page 6. Let us go on to page 6. Okay, I'll come back to that. Netflix strategy has shifted and the Sussexes are still in the game. Page 6 was one of the few outlets to report the truth. Page 6, let me say that again. Page 6 was one of the few outlets to report the truth that the Sussexes' exclusive Netflix deal ended as planned, with a first look arrangement likely to follow. But instead of respecting that nuance, most media twisted the update into another failure narrative. The same cycle plays out every year, circulated to spark outrage and cast doubt on Meghan and Harry's financial independence. After all, it's easier to mock the couple who earned their money than to question why the rest of the senior royals live off public funds, do fewer engagements, and enjoy luxury holidays on the taxpayer's dime. Netflix no longer leans on massive exclusive deals. Instead, the company now favors first look agreements. And if I understand, the first look agreement means that when you have something to offer, since you're not going to have that exclusive contract anymore, then they expect you to offer it to them first, hence the first look, right? I think that's the understanding. So Netflix no longer leans on massive exclusive deals. Instead, the company now favors first look agreements that offers creative flexibility. This model already applies to Barack and Michelle Obama. Higher Ground is, oh yeah, that's the name of their production company. It already applies to Barack and Michelle Obama's Higher Ground and is expected to apply to Meghan and Harry next. According to page 6, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex are likely to sign a new agreement that allows Netflix to preview and greenlight future content from the couple. Okay? So that is what you can expect, is that they are in all likelihood going to continue to work with Netflix in some capacity or the other, but the exclusive agreement for 5 years, I'm afraid that may be no more very soon. So do not let those tabloids get in your head, because that's what they're trying to do. They are trying to find some kind of way to disparage the Sussexes to the point where you're not enjoying this amazing place that we're in right now, where Meghan and Harry are living their best life. Things are going well for them in spite of everything the tabloids are saying. They are doing very, very well. Great for that matter, but they're doing very well. And so I'm going to say, don't give in to the okie doke. In the long run, it's going to do more harm than good for you to assume that these strangers, who do not know the Sussexes intimately. They're not welcome to their homes, but yet they know everything that's going on. Don't believe it. So, okay, let's do the final thoughts here. I'm going to skip the part about what Ted Sarandos said, where he says, whether you love him or hate him, you're still watching, so on and so on. You know what? I'm going to do that one. Meghan is underestimated in terms of her influence on culture. When we dropped the trailer for Harry and Meghan's docuseries, everything on the screen was dissected in the press for days. Shoes she was wearing sold out all over the world. Hermes blanket that was on the chair behind her sold out everywhere in the world. People are fascinated with Meghan Markle. She and Harry are overly dismissed. And that was Ted Sarandos of Netflix, co-CEO of Netflix, and also a neighbor of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Joan Garcia says tabloids made up a Netflix 100 million. No proof. Did Harry and Meghan or Netflix ever discuss financial agreement publicly? I doubt Netflix would disclose it. Thank you, Joan Garcia. There is absolutely no proof whatsoever how much this deal was worth to the Sussexes. None whatsoever, because it has never been publicly disclosed. There has only been speculation over what Netflix offered other people, an industry standard, and so on. So we should never just assume that $100 million figure is correct. We don't know that. So thank you, Joan Garcia, for that clarity. Okay, negative headlines distract from royal controversy. The timing of the media frenzy raises questions as King Charles confronts new allegations of staff bullying. Kate and William draw criticism for their light workload and frequent holidays. Tabloids flood the news cycle with misleading stories about Harry and Meghan. For years, the British press has used coverage of the Sussexes to distract from scandals within the monarchy by amplifying a story sourced from Rupert Murdoch's tabloid empire. Media outlets compromise their credibility. They treated speculation as fact and buried the real update. Netflix is still working with Harry and Meghan under a new structure. A lack of confirmation from the couple is not proof of failure. Is proof they've learned not to feed the clickbait. They learned not to feed the clickbait. And I'm just sick of it. Do you hear me? Sick of it. Oh, anyway, final thoughts. Our final thoughts. The Netflix deal between Harry and Meghan was never meant to last forever. It was a business agreement with a defined timeline, not a royal entitlement. The Sussexes delivered global content, and Netflix gained cultural impact and viewership. I get it. Might be confusing, especially when most royals are taxpayer funded for life. But real contracts come with deadlines, not crowns. This wasn't a failure. It was a complete partnership. Now, as Netflix shifts toward first look deals instead of exclusive contracts, and the Sussexes are adapting to it. This isn't a scandal, it's a strategy. Forget recycled headlines. The facts are clear. Their projects perform, the studios back them, the work continues. Harry and Meghan aren't being dropped. They're evolving with the platform on smarter, more flexible terms. Thank you, Feminagra. Now that explains it very clearly. You know, I was waiting for Feminagra to come out with something. Oh, did I miss that? Plus, idiots keep ending. Oh, I did see that one. Okay, thank you. All right. Now, Sussex Squad sinister Kate theories that left her shocked by virulence at most vulnerable moment with meticulous research. It looked like somebody got out their big word handbook. Let me try that again. Sussex Squad sinister Kate theories that left her shocked by virulence at most vulnerable moment with meticulous research. Now, Richard Eden, who you can see pictured on the article there, Richard Richard Eden reveals toxic truth. You know, when you look into Richard Eden's beady little eyes, you barely see a man. What you really see is a rat, an absolute rat, a rodent of the first order. That's what you see when you look at that at those beady little eyes of his. Yeah, that's the first thing that you notice are those beady, suspicious eyes. So, you know, the first thing I thought of was, uh-oh, I hope they ain't gonna mention Royal Sussex. Well, fortunately, they didn't. However, I do believe that somebody's been listening with those little suspicious ears. Someone has been listening to Royal Sussex or something, you know, similar, but somebody has been listening. I believe it. Someone has been pressing their ear to the ground or something. They've been pressing something. Let me see here. Well, let me see. I got to find it again. Anyway, major airline grounds entire U.S. fleet in sudden shutdown, sparking fears of travel chaos coast to coast. You guys, if you know anybody who's flying, let me see which airline this is. Wow, that just appeared out of nowhere. Oh, it's United Airlines was forced to issue urgent ground stop across entire mainline fleet on Thursday night after a fire alarm sounded at its headquarters. There were fears that the decision would spark travel chaos. Okay, well, at least it's not an act of terror or something. But yeah, they're showing all the planes grounded. Yeah, so if you know if you're expecting anyone from United today or tomorrow, better check with the airline. Okay, better check with the airline because it could be a problem. Okay, so I was talking about that little rat fink Richard Eden. Oh my God, I cannot stand him. Oh, there's the article right there. All right, I got it. So after completing her chemotherapy treatment, the Princess of Wales admitted last September that it had been an incredibly tough 9 months. Her traumatic year was made even more horrendous by the sustained trolling, online mockery, and abuse that our future queen suffered at the hands of some of the most fanatical supporters of Prince Harry and his wife Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. Did you guys know that you all were fanatical? That's what Richard Eden say. That little beady-eyed rodent seems to be of the opinion that we are fanatical. I came across a toxic phenomenon in the course of researching a new edition of my television program. Typically, Catherine made no public reference to the trolling, although I am told that she was well aware of it and shocked by its virulence. I don't even know what virulence is, but I doubt if any of us have waged virulence against Kate Middleton. Let me ask, let me see. Joy Amore, have you committed any virulence against Kate Middleton? How about you, Felton LaShawn? Have you been virulent lately? Elaine Parker, how's your virulence doing? I hope you're not being virulent. Virulence. I don't even know what that means. Carolyn Mentor, are you being virulent? Huh? Please tell me you're not being virulent. Ms. Z, how about you? Have you been virulent against Kate? Or whatever that big word is that he said. I sure hope not, because there's too much virulence in this world right now. If that's what the world needed, they would have made a song. What the world needs now is virulence. It's the only thing that is just too little. What the world needs now is virulence, even if we don't understand the meaning. Lord, there's too much virulence in the opinion of Richard Eden. There are some of us who don't even know what it means, and at least one of us who really can't sing. What the world needs now is more virulence. It's the only thing that there's just too tense. Oh, wow. Well, you know what, guys? Before I get any more virulentic, is it virulent? How do you say it? Virulentic or virulence? Before I display any more virulence, I'm going to move on to the next part of this. But I have been accused of a lot of things, but you know that word. I've never been accused of virulence. I've never been accused of being overly virulentic. Okay? You cannot point at me and say, hey, I think you've been too virulent. Not I. Let me see. TMCD says, no virulence here. Okay. I am so glad to hear that. and I'm sure you speak for everyone else, that we are in, as a matter of fact, until further notice, this is a virulence free zone. Thank you very much for 27 non virulentic months of membership. His show got his nerves calling somebody virulence. Anyway, where did I leave off? Out of all the words he could have referenced, he had to go with something ain't nobody ever heard before. I mean, I say a lot. I talk a lot of stuff every day, but I don't know if I could ever work that into a sentence. So let me see, where did I leave off? Yeah, and was shocked by its virulence. Virulence. She was shocked by it. Could you imagine Kate? I mean, come on, you guys. Imagine Kate Middleton saying that she was surprised by the by the by the by that word. Imagine her saying that she was surprised by the what he said. Imagine that. Just imagine that. Kate Middleton surprised by that word right there. I couldn't imagine it. As a matter of fact, when it comes to Kate conveying her thoughts about anything, I don't know that she's ever been that reliable. Do you? Let me see. Kate Middleton expressing her shock at the thing that he was talking about. Let me see. How would she describe that? We better reach out to Kensington Palace for comment.
Well, obviously it'd be. I would love to have met her, and she's obviously she's an inspirational woman to look up to. Obviously on to this day, and going forward and things. It is. It's a wonderful family. The members who I've met have achieved a lot, and very inspirational. So going forward and things. It is. Obviously on to this day, and going forward and things. It is. It's a wonderful family. A wonderful family. The members who I've met have achieved a lot, and she's obviously she's an inspirational woman, and she's obviously she's an inspirational woman to look up to. Obviously on to this day, and going forward and things. It is. It's a wonderful family. The members who I've met have achieved a lot, and very inspirational. So yeah, I do.
You know what? She's going to need some of that, what they call it, sweet water or summer water. Yeah, she needs some of that summer water to calm her nerves. It'll get her right past that virulence. I believe it. I believe it. So once again, I'm trying to picture Catherine. It says here, typically Catherine made no public reference to the trolling, although I am told that she was well aware of it and shocked by its virulence. Does she even know what that word means? I am of a certain age. I'm not even sure I could still reach my virulence. Yeah, the older I get, the further gravity has pulled my virulence uh, to the floor, closer to the floor. So, first of all, I got to figure out what it is, and then I'll know if she said it. Actually, I know she didn't say it. Her vocabulary is not that big. Let me see here. So, instead of at the Together at Christmas Carol service at Westminster Abbey last December, she urged the congregation and the watching TV audience to choose love, not fear, and called for the nation to slow down and reflect on the deeper things that connect us all. Kate said that, because I don't remember Kate getting up and reciting anything to the audience, to those present. Do you guys remember Kate standing at the podium or the lectern saying that, what was that again? Do you remember Kate saying the congregation and the watching TV audience should choose love, not fear, and called for the nation to slow down and reflect on the deeper things that connect us all? I don't recall hearing Kate saying that. Now, maybe someone read that clearly on her behalf, but I don't remember Kate standing up there saying that to the people that gathered for the event. Yeah, I don't think that happened. Yep, I just cannot see Kate saying anything as profound as that. The trolling began 11 months earlier after Kensington Palace announced in January last year that the princess had been admitted to the London clinic undergo planned abdominal surgery. A spokesman had the surgery the spokesman said the surgery had been successful and that Catherine would stay at the private hospital for 10 to 14 days, returning home to continue her recovery. Based on the current medical advice, she is unlikely to return to public duties until after Easter, the statement said. Well, Kate was gone for 172 days. There were not one confirmed image of Kate, not one confirmed public sighting of Kate for 172 days, which is amazing for someone the hospital said was cancer-free. They said that neither Kate or Charles had cancer. The two people that were accused of being racist the year before somehow managed to go to the hospital for non-emergency procedures. Both were deemed to be cancer-free or non-cancerous, only for them to come back later and tell us, you know what? Here, love, you know what, love? Here, love. Yeah. They were like, here, love, do you know what? Hey, governor? You know what I'm saying? Then they come back and tell us something completely different. That there was. Well, anyway, let me just save a whole lot of back and forth here. There were so many inconsistencies. Is there any wonder that not only the Sussex squad, but a whole bunch of people that don't even really follow the royal family had their doubts? Hey, governor? So it goes on to say, a spokesman said the surgery had been successful and that Catherine would stay at a private hospital. Oh, I did that already. I'm sorry. Let me go here. It says it included an appeal for her to be allowed to maintain as much normality for her children as possible, and her wish that her personal medical information remain private. Well, that is a foregone conclusion. And that reminds me, why was it they accused Russia, Iran, and who else was it? Russia, Iran, and somebody else. Oh, China. They said that Russia, Iran, and China was trying to steal her medical records to somehow destabilize the United Kingdom. And that didn't sound right to me because Kate is not, I repeat, Kate is not a head of state. So how, pray tell, could the idea that Kate Middleton somehow could lose her medical records, they could be stolen, and that they were going to use that against the against the government, the United Kingdom's government, that they were going to parlay that information into some kind of something. I didn't know Kate was that important. I thought she was barely hanging on by a thread. Now, there were some people in the comment section. You know, I love the comment section. Those are always so much fun. Let's see what they had to say to that rat, Richard Eden, that rodent. Where's my oh, there it is. Okay, what I have here don't look like that, but anyway, you guys, yeah, you know what? I'd rather do that one. Let me see if I can see that. Let me make that bigger. Ooh, that's worse. That is worse. Okay, it says, methinks the Sussex, oh, I'm not going to read that one. The next one says, the truth, it happened on both sides. People sit and type out vile, untruthful venom with glee for the all-important views and likes. As a society, we encourage this behavior by giving them the attention they crave. If they were ignored, they would soon stop. It's a sad world we live in. Okay. Let me see what this other one say. A royal insider with whom I am acquainted paints a very different picture. Jealous Kate Middleton upstage by the infinitely more likable Princess Meghan is the source of all the bad feelings, so much so that the golden couple were forced to move to the U.S. to escape. See, I told you we would get to the truth. Another person said, what utter nonsense. Someone else said, Eden makes up a boring fable. Okay, I can't share that one. Someone else says, give it a rest, boring. Followed by some of the comments here just prove the point. Her medical diagnosis or history has nothing to do with anyone else. Imagine your medical issues being headline news daily. Get a little, no, it says get a life and leave people alone. The Sussexes have made their bed. Now let them lie in it, literally knowing them. Whatever that means. So you see there? You see there? Another one says, in the 60s and 70s, when I grew up, of course, there was no social media or anything of the type. I have just read, I feel terribly sorry for Kate and her family, but also for all the people who are attacked in this way. Overall, the world has become a nasty place for us to bring up children. I really fear for the future of the nasty, what is that, genie out of the bottle, and it's never going back in. What the hell will it be in 20 years from now? You know, they make a very good point. It says here, the hate toward Meghan from the Kate Middleton squad is worse thing anyone has said about worse thing anyone has said about Kate Middleton. I'm not sure I understand that one. The Sussex squad are Meg's mouthpiece. You guys, do you think I'm Meghan's mouthpiece? Huh? Am I Meghan's mouthpiece? Oh, man. She never condemns them. Very telling. So the fact that Meghan never condemns us is very telling. When was the last time that Kate condemned the Derangers? When was the last time William condemned the Derangers? When was the last time either one of them have said anything? Huh? What about you, Kate Middleton? When was the last time you ever condemned the Derangers?
A woman to look up to. And she's obviously, she's an inspirational woman to look up to. Obviously to this day, and, you know, going forward and things. You know, it is, you know, it's a wonderful family. The members who I've met have achieved a, you know, it is, you know, it's a, you know, it is, you know, it's a wonderful family. The members who I've met have achieved a lot, and, you know, very inspirational. So yeah, I do.
Okay, I guess that was the last time then. Maybe that was the last time. Maybe. All right. I stand corrected. A spokesman said the surgery had been successful and that Catherine would stay at private hospital for, okay, let me see here. You know, this is not much of an article. Let me fast forward. However, plea fell on deaf ears among the... Oh, I'm sorry. Let me put something up on the screen. Okay. However, the plea... Oh, well, let me see here. The plea fell on deaf ears among the Sussex squad. As the Duke and Duchess of Sussex's most devoted fans are known, they demanded to know why Catherine needed so much time to recuperate and discussed her, among other things, accused her, among other things, of being lazy and using health problems. I don't remember that. Do you guys remember that? I don't remember us saying that she was lazy. I do not recall anybody referring to Kate Middleton as lazy. Do you all? When did that happen? Let me see. I got to think about it. I can't recall anybody referring to her as lazy. That don't sound like us. I don't remember. I don't remember that. Oh. I'm trying to think. Well, we might have said that we were concerned that she took so much time off, but I don't remember just flat out saying, "You're lazy. You're lazy. And you're selfish. You're lazy and selfish." I don't remember that. At least I don't think I remember it. I had to check my notes or something. Maybe I made some veiled reference to it, but I would just never flat out and accuse somebody of being lazy. That ain't me. Um, like if I type lazy into my search, um, I doubt if I would find anything to corroborate that type of description. Let me see. Do I have anything like that? Let me try this. You see, it's so hard because I don't think I have anything. Oh, oh, ooh, I forgot about this. Oh man, I forgot about that. Well, I'm sure that that's the only thing that I have. Surely there's nothing else in my images that describe uh, the Princess of Wales in such a glaring light like that. But let me see if I type lazy, would anything else come up? Oh, you know what? This is so awkward. I meant to say lassie, like girl. I meant like girl, lassie. You know what I mean? Lassie Katie. That was a term of affection, not ridicule, not designed to embarrass or accuse anybody of anything. Or maybe it was French, laissez-faire. Laissez-faire, Katie. Oui, laissez-faire, Katie. Maybe it was something French I wrote. I don't know. Obviously, there's been a typographical error, and there's no way I intended to say anything disparaging about the, you know, that person, Kate. I don't remember anything like that. Oh well. I'm sure that it was a temporary lapse of judgment and not likely to ever be repeated. So anyway, you guys, I do recommend you avoid Palace Confidential. We don't want to give them any type of support whatsoever. Again, if you see Palace Confidential, just ignore them because they're awful people and they're just hoping that we support them by clicking on their channel. Just ignore them. I couldn't even look at it because it's just so negative, and I don't like that. Ugh, just too negative. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have desperate motive for royal reunion. Well, according to Robert Jobson, let me see. Robert Jobson has claimed the rumored peace talks may be linked to Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's deal with Netflix drawing to a close. Speaking to Sun's royal exclusive show, the royal author suggested that Harry and Meghan could be seeking handouts from the king, hence the okay. So apparently, let me see. The royal author suggested Harry and Meghan could be seeking handouts from the king, hence the initiation of peace talks. What handouts, though? What handouts? I don't know what he could be talking about, really. I think that's absolutely silly. Okay, you guys, I am almost done here. I'm going to play the sound for this. I spoke about it yesterday. But you can hear the enthusiasm of their selection.
Name an American female celebrity who's basically royalty.
Meghan Markle.
Meghan Markle. Name an American female celebrity who's basically royalty.
Meghan Markle.
Meghan Markle.
Okay, there you go, Meghan Markle. Also known as she prefers Meghan Sussex, or the Duchess of Sussex, or ma'am. Ma'am is in ham. Or your Royal Highness. You know, you choose. Now, a word to the wise. Do not accuse another woman of being a man unless we can be sure that you are a woman. Okay? I repeat, do not accuse another woman of being a man unless you are so sure that your illusion is airtight. Unless your illusion is airtight, leave other people alone. That's what I'm saying. Leave other people alone. Unless your illusion is so airtight, best not bring it up. Is it true that The View is going on hiatus? Is that something they do every year? Are we reaching the end of the road of The View? Things are changing on television, you guys. And television was already a dying art form, a dying platform. But it seems like television is losing more and more viewers every day. So it's been around since the late 1940s, and television has definitely helped shape a lot of references that I use every day. A lot of the things I've learned from television in the days before the World Wide Web. So I'm going to miss it. I don't watch it much these days, but I'm going to miss it. But it'll be a while. It will be a while. Okay. And then lastly, there's this. Not my king. Will and Kate have tried everything else to get on Charles and Camilla's nerves. Some mysterious courier was seen stuffing these into their mailboxes, and somehow they took a liking to them and just decided to wear them. Now, William has been trying so long to learn Welsh, he doesn't know what it actually says. He thinks that not making, he thinks that is a Welsh word, not making. So y'all don't tell him. And Kate, of course, she doesn't do so well trying to sound things out. So there's no chance that she will ever figure it out.
She's an inspirational woman to look up to, obviously to this day. And going forward and things. It is, it's a wonderful.
Yeah, I don't think she'll figure it out either. So you guys don't tell them. Just let them think that that's a Welsh word, and we'll leave it there, okay? Okay. All right. Love you guys. I'm going to call it a night. And, of course, I won't be back later. This is it. This is the end of the road. So love you guys. See you next time. And thank you, as always, for watching Royal Sussex.